Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Love and Marriage DC Season 1, Episodes 5 and 6. Listen, I didn't do it last week. I'm early this week. Listen, y'all should be proud of me. Okay, so down in the comments, put I'm so proud of you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I am here with the episodes early this week. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. Episode 5 basically went down like this. Anthony and Latoya have taken sides with Kolby and Russell. They can pretend like they have not, but they have. Brandon showed up to this men's meeting with this stupid shirt on with Christina's face all over it. Sir, you can wear a face all you want to, okay? Try valuing your wife, okay? Because it's looking stupid. Russell tells Brandon that he's going to break every bone in his body if he wasn't saved. I was like, is it that serious? Listen to me. Russell might have a little anger issue, okay? Because I ain't never heard nobody want to break every bone in your body over a stupid word like Kolby cat. It wasn't even that clever. It really wasn't. So I was a little bit confused on that. And of course, Brandon let him get away with it. Sir, stand up for your damn self. Stand up for yourself. Like, I don't understand why. Let me tell you something. You too can achieve those same muscles. And yes, I did say muscles. You can get them same damn muscles if you decide to lift a weight. Okay, one weight a day can get you the same physique as Russell. So I do not know why you are letting him, as the young people say, play on your top. Why are you letting this man clown you in this way? Kolby turns 30 and has this party that was thrown by Russell. Latoya shows up, but Anthony went to go meet Kristina and Brandon at the Coney Island. Okay, so he goes to meet them and they're asking, where's Latoya? So he lies and says that Latoya's at home with the kids, I guess to protect her. Now everybody's in an uproar. Anthony is trying to upstage Brandon. Brandon is like, what did I do to you? This has absolutely nothing to do with you. And it's just so crazy how y'all flip-flopped. I'm just confused and seen. So baby, they're going back and forth, and here we are. When episode 6 first opens up, Christina is telling them that she realizes that they're on a bandwagon, and Anthony is like, nah, I'm not gonna do no bandwagon. I'm just not gonna do business with somebody that snaked a friend. So Christina feels like it has nothing to do with loyalty to you. Their rift has nothing to do with you. Now, Anthony, it is clear that y'all have drawn a line in the sand. Let's just keep it real. Y'all chose Russell and Kolby. That has nothing to do with this showcase. Absolutely nothing. Now, Kristina and Anthony arguing back and forth. You know how they like to do, child. It's giving Pam and Martin. So now they arguing back and forth and back. I mean, Anthony does give you more bruh man from the fifth floor, but they are now arguing back and forth. Brandon, and again, why do you just sit there and not say anything? You do not let this man address your wife. You do not leave your wife out to dry to defend both of you, and you say nothing. You up there rubbing her shoulders and sitting quietly by. Baby, let me tell you something. It takes a special kind of woman to get aroused by any of these men on this franchise. Honey, I don't give a damn how good Russell look, baby. It wouldn't work for me because y'all don't know how to act. It's like y'all just don't know how to, and then you don't say nothing, like you just sitting. It's like, ew. Okay. It's just ill to me, honey. So Kristina feels like just because Brandon and Russell had a beef, that doesn't mean that Anthony cannot trust Brandon. Now, I have to agree to a certain extent, okay? It has absolutely nothing to do with Anthony. He likes to insert himself in something because he gets bored. Sir, find something to do, okay? Now that you can't go to Atlanta, you and everybody else's business. But if, in fact, Brandon is talking about Kolby like that, then you would probably deduce that he's probably talking about you and your wife. I mean, that's common sense to me. It might not be to everybody else. Moving forward. In the next scene, Anthony and Latoya, they're at home outside with the kids, and she's telling him that the party was chilled. It was no drama. She's like, yeah, and Kristina didn't even call Kolby for her birthday. Her birthday literally just came. Girl, now why in the hell would she call her? A, they're into it, and B, her husband banned them from even attending her birthday party. I wouldn't call her either. I wish I would pick up the phone and be like, go shorty, it's your birthday. Girl, I don't give a damn, honey. You didn't want me at your event. You don't want me at your birthday. So, I mean, I'm not about to call you. Come on now, Dr. LaToya. Let's put on our thinking caps. So then he starts telling her about the meeting that he had with Kristina and Brandon. He's telling her that, Kristina was throwing out a lot of accusations and saying that they hopped on the Kolby and Russell bandwagon without really hearing the whole story. He said, yeah, but I told her I'm not about to argue with you. Anthony, no, you did not. You live for an argument, okay? You all in the women's business. If anybody in the business, it's you. And I really feel like these men and these husbands messier than the wives. Child, they get lost because all I can remember is Anthony, Russell, and Brandon. Child, I'm so confused, honey. I really am. So Anthony was like, yeah, she asked about you. And LaToya said, well, I mean, she should have called me. If you got a problem with me, you should have called me. Like, I made it very clear that I do not like being in public. And here we are. It's another time that y'all are out in public acting a fool. Now, ma'am, I like you, Dr. LaToya. You might be a little dry than a Popeye's biscuit, but I like you. Okay? Because I think you're level-headed. I really do. But, ma'am, if we're going to call out Kristina and Brandon for acting a fool, we need to also call out our husband. Because Anthony acts up every time he gets somewhere. Okay, every time. Y'all went out on that boat. He started crying you a river, honey. Shout out to Justin Timberlake. Then y'all went down to the Field of Dreams at the anniversary party. That was really a cast meetup. And your husband was getting into it with Kristina. At the wine event, that was for you. Your husband was talking crazy to another woman while you just sat there. So your husband needs to be checked as well. Moving forward. So LaToya was like, it doesn't matter who was there. Even if it was Kolby, I didn't even like her yelling. It's been 3 different events and the common denominator is Kristina and Brandon. Well, I have to say this because I'm looking at both sides, okay? Because all of this is just stupidity and ignorance and repetitiveness. So for me, I don't really have a cock in this fight. I'm just going based on what I see, child. Now, to be fair, the first time it was not Kristina's fault. Kolby kind of blindsided her by telling her that her lying, sneaking husband was not really telling her about this new artist. Okay, so she had a right to be upset. And y'all were in a field, child. Nobody hear y'all or see y'all. And it was her anniversary party. So it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Girl, goodbye. But I totally do understand not wanting to be around people that don't know how to act in public, especially as an adult. Please do not take me nowhere out in public and embarrass me, baby. I will leave you standing there looking like you are talking to yourself. Like, please regulate your emotions. You're too old to not know how to act. Okay, I would expect that from my 8-year-old. He's not grasped the concept of don't act a fool. But even he knows you don't get out in public and embarrass yourself, and you don't get out in public and embarrass me. In the next scene, Kolby and Russell are at home, and Russell is getting his workout on, honey. He doing sit-ups and push-ups. Kanye's workout plan. That's right. Put in work. Eat your salad. No dessert. He doing all that. Child, he doing all that, honey. In the confessional, Kolby said, he's obsessed with pumping iron. He said, yeah, but what do people say when we go on vacation? She was like, can I touch his arms? Okay, married man. So are you doing it for attention from other women or are you doing it to take care of yourself? Because it sounds like to me you're doing it so the women can ask to touch your arms. Child, I wouldn't even said that out loud. When he would have said to me, well, what do the women say when we go on vacation? I would have said, I don't know. I don't even pay attention to that. Child, I'm not about to stroke your ego. Anywho, so they're at home and they're talking and she's telling him about what she has to do that day. And he's like, yeah, so, I'm going to go to the gym and try to negotiate a deal. Sir, you saw the gym one time and you want to buy it? Did you even figure out the financials? What are the logistics of owning a gym? Russell just want to own that gym. Girl, listen, you need to talk to your husband before you end up on the outside because Russell is not making wise choices. He has so many ideas, which I understand because I'm a person that has so many ideas, but you need to try to properly execute one or you're going to end up just like Hotel over there on Love and Marriage Huntsville, peddling some Mary Kay products out of a cardboard box down to the local house store. Please just take a second to figure out what it is that you want to do and involve your wife. Because if it's a joint venture, you sure moving solo. I really don't understand that. So she's upset because she hasn't even seen it. Girl, just hang it up. Russell is acting on his own desires. He said the only hold up are the accountants. So she's asking for him to make sure that she's involved. Girl, go on pick out your dress for the grand opening because he gonna do what he want to do. Moving forward. In the next scene, Christina stops by the studio to drop some beats. No, I'm just kidding. So Christina stops by the studio and she's helping Brandon with the showcase. So he's trying to decide who's going to take the stage. So he's looking at these pictures up on the wall, right? So Christina is going to be the stage manager and she's just happy to be involved, honey. And we ain't seen that artist since. You see, she got rid of Jocelyn. You see that? Honey, Mimi say, you are not going to take my Stevie. Do you hear me? So it's his showcase. Okay, y'all keep that in mind. It's Brandon's showcase. So he said that Anthony gonna send him a text message and tell him that he only has 3 slots on his own showcase. So he messaged him back and said, well, how many are there? He said it's 25 and he's giving Brandon 3. Oh, okay. He playing in your face. This is Anthony's showcase at this point. He is really playing in your face. So Christina is like, what? Make it make sense. How do you only get 3 slots at your own showcase? Like, what? Brandon feels like Anthony is just trying to do a quick money grab, and that's not what he wants to do. Well, Brandon, tell Anthony that. Don't tell us. Tell him. Let him know that this is what you do. Like, make it plain. Okay? When you're dealing with somebody like Anthony, you got to look him square in the eye and say exactly what it is that you mean and mean what you say. Because otherwise, he will do whatever it is he feels like doing. So Brandon said, he hit me up. And I ended up hitting up the DJ because I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I told the DJ what was going on and that it was my showcase. So now I'm bringing 10. The DJ's bringing 10. And I'm guessing Anthony going to bring 3. I don't even know what he do. So he's confused because he doesn't even know what Anthony does. And Christina is telling him, well, I don't think you should trust Anthony because he been moving real shady lately. Anthony wants to completely take over and be front and center. He came up with the Russell and Kolby excuse to X you out. That is what it's looking like to me. Now, I don't know what it's looking like to everybody else, but that's what it looks like to me. In the next scene, Kolby is at the house and her friend Chelsea stops by. Hey, girl. So they're talking and she's telling her how Russell is basically beating his chest and doing things without telling her. Girl, y'all need to talk to a therapist. I don't even have time for this scene. Moving forward. Christina meets up with the publicist. And her name is Brittany. Okay, Brittany Brown. She's a top publicist in Detroit. She's meeting up with her for her to help her with her brand. So she's telling Brittany, since having her daughter, she hasn't been out there as much. So now she wants to get back into the swing of things and she knows that Brittany can help her. So Brittany is telling her, listen, girl, what you need to do is you need to hone in on your specialty, figure out something that only you can speak on and that you can influence people in a way that only you can. So while she's telling her that, Christina interjects and she brings up this he say, she say stuff that's going on. Apparently, Anthony told Brittany that Brandon don't really fool with her like that after she told him that she was going to be working with Christina. So the publicist went to Anthony because she also represents Anthony and LaToya and told them, listen, I'm going to be working with Christina. Brandon in turn turns around and says, well, that's funny because they don't even rock with you like that. And she doesn't understand why Anthony would tell her that. So Brittany said, well, originally he said they don't rock with you. So I was trying to gain some clarity. But then he ended up saying Christina and Brandon. Okay, he made it clear that it was the 2 of you. So she told him that was strange because she had been in communication with Christina and they're planning on working together. So she couldn't understand it. Now I can see Brandon saying that only because it tracks. Okay, I can see Brandon saying that. Let me tell y'all what I mean. That's the same way he just came out of nowhere saying that Kolby was swagger jacking Christina. It seems to me that Brandon doesn't want Christina to have anyone but him. It's given isolation. Now, that's my observation. Now, with that being said, okay, Anthony, you didn't have no damn right to go back and repeat that. You giving real Mitch. Okay, you're giving a Mitch, honey. You're giving a Mitch. Why did you go back and repeat that to that woman? You're just entirely too messy at all times. Like, it's just every single episode, you're messy. Like, when do you work? Because you stay gossiping. So she asked Anthony, are you fine with me reaching out to Christina and telling her what went down? So Christina was like, well, I had no idea that you were even working with LaToya and Anthony. This is so juvenile. I didn't know you were friends with him. No, I'm not friends with him like that. He said he not feeling you. What you say? Oh, child, it's just so juvenile. Then all of a sudden, Christina throws in Kolby and Russell. Christina, dang on well what you're doing. You're deflecting because you know that your husband said that. Nobody made mention of Kolby and Russell at all. Okay, so to add to that, Brittany says he did not say anything about Kolby and Russell, but he did say y'all. Okay, just so we're clear. In the next scene, Russell is putting together a Bible study. Johnny Bravo shows up, but y'all, why when Brandon got out of the car, there were crows in the background? I said, who added these sound effects? Y'all wrong for that, honey. Not crows as he gets out the car. Let me tell y'all something. I wouldn't let Russell and his bone breaking mentality lead me in nobody's Bible study. Do you hear me? Not nobody's. So Russell starts with a prayer. Now, I have to say, I really did like that. That's not something we see every day in reality TV, so I appreciate it. Russell starts speaking his speech about how he brought them there, so they can reflect on how they show up as leaders. I hope you are doing some introspective work in addition to, because you need to figure out why you show up the way you do in your marriage and why you showed up in Brandon's face the way you did. Okay, we're going to have to work on those things. So he brings up what happened at the men's movement. So he was like, yeah, I said what I said because it's how I was feeling at the time. And I was just really hurt. Now, it's cool for you to be hurt. And it's very understandable that you feel like this man is talking about your wife, honey, and calling her names or whatever. But I feel like you took it a bit too far. Breaking every bone in his body because he said Kolby cat. You wouldn't last a second on these other franchises. Like, why are you trying to dismember the man because he said Kolby cat? Anyway. So Brandon was like, yeah, I felt that for about a week. So then Russell was like, well, I'm just going to let it go, but I'm not going to let the word Kolby cat mess up our friendship because we've been friends for years. Brandon was like, yeah, I just feel like it was just maybe an error in judgment. Yeah, my bad. Russell, I didn't hear an apology. You didn't apologize for telling this man that you were going to break his bones. And Brandon, it was not an error in judgment. You felt that way because you had already articulated it to Christina. I didn't hear an apology from you either. Child, y'all just, baby, close the Bibles up. Y'all don't even open the Bibles, first of all. I don't know what kind of Bible study this is. Just gather your Bibles and leave before y'all burn up into a puff of smoke, honey. Playing with G.O.D. So then he goes on to say that Christina called him. Now, this is Russell speaking. He said, but I do want to bring something to your attention. Christina called me and said somebody was throwing salt on our names. And he felt like, why are you calling me when you haven't had a conversation with my wife? Okay, you need to have a conversation with her first. And I agree with that. Why are you calling me about some mess before you get things squared away with my wife? So she told him that Anthony is saying things about them to the publicist. This is what Christina said on the phone call with Russell. Are y'all keeping up? Because there's so many moving parts and so much mess. It's hard to get it all straight. Basically, this is how it's going down. Kolby and Russell feel away because of what Brandon said. Brandon doesn't want Christina to be friends with Kolby because of what Kolby said at that anniversary field. Okay, when they were out in that field with the lilies and the lilacs or whatever it was. Anthony is just messy by default. Dr. LaToya is just mute. And now you have Christina starting mess because she's pissed about that meeting down at James Coney Island, honey. So that's what it's given to me. Okay, I just wanted everybody to be brought up to speed. Moving forward. Christina, dang on well that that's not true. Brittany told you specifically before y'all parted ways that there was never any mention of Kolby and Russell. It was only the two of you. You and Brandon deserve each other. And I don't want people to get confused when you get down in the comments and don't understand why she told Christina there was absolutely no mention of them, but it was mention of y'all. So Christina, you did that on purpose and you were being messy. Russell is like, I don't think that that's in Anthony's character, so I'm a little bit confused. Now, I don't know about all that. So Anthony said, I never mentioned your name. I don't know where that's coming from. But what Christina is talking about is the publicist, because we had a call and Brittany was telling me that she was going to work with Christina. And I told her that's interesting because they don't rock with you like that. So Brandon acting all shocked, talking about what? What you talking about? Anthony is like, please don't say what like that, because you know that you said it. The first thing that comes out of Brandon's mouth is, well, I didn't even know that was your publicist. Okay, so you did say it. You just didn't know that she was representing them. Now, that's how I took it. So Anthony goes, we could take a lie detector test. Right now, we could take a lie detector test. Brandon claims that they just talked about a publicist, but not his publicist. He says that Anthony is making up stuff because he doesn't want Christina to work with his publicist. Brandon, as much as I can't stand Anthony and I can't stand you equally as much, I would be more inclined to believe Anthony. Okay. I think you have a little lying problem. You've been lying since episode 1. I think that you have a little lying problem. So Anthony is like, Christina lied on me. So he starts getting upset because Brandon won't admit it. And Anthony is full of emotion. Every time it's something, he acts on his emotion. So he's full of emotion because Brandon won't admit it and making him look like a liar. Brandon switches it over to the showcase. I said, way to take the heat off of you, Brandon. You know how to manipulate a situation if you don't know how to do nothing else. So now they fussing about the showcase. Now he got Anthony all in his feelings. They yelling across the table. Anthony is like, you ain't never even touched $1 million, little boy. Little boy, you been... I'm like, oh, Lord, honey. Not these grown men arguing back and forth. What is going on? Russell is over there patting Anthony's chest, trying to calm him down. Why you patting Anthony? Anthony ain't gonna bust a grape. So, child, they arguing back and forth at the table. Brandon, you let these men son you. But, you did set the stage by letting them disrespect your wife and not checking it then. So, of course, they gonna son you because they know you a scaredy cat. Okay? Anything, you talking about she's a Kolby cat, you're a scaredy cat. Okay? You don't say anything to these men ever. Stand up for yourself. When you let Anthony punk you, baby, I done lost all hope. You hear me? I done lost all hope. Moving forward. So Johnny Bravo wants them to talk about it instead of trying to do whatever it is that they're doing because he feels like it's ego driven and they need to throw out the egos. Anthony is hurt because Brandon is looking in his eyes lying. So then Brandon says, well, let's just say I did say it. What was the motive behind you telling Brittany? So you did say it, just like I thought. Anthony said, I told her because she's my real friend and I couldn't have her working with people who don't really like her. And I can respect that. But at the same time, it's an undertone of mess. You're messy at the same time. So Brandon talking about, well, if I said it, it was taken out of context because I don't remember that. How can you take I don't rock with her out of context? It's very straightforward to me. I don't rock with her. What other context could it be? You mean like physically rocking her in your arms like you do a baby? Or Michael Jackson, I want to rock with you. Which context is it? That's giving dumb. The way you said it was the way that you meant it. First it was, I didn't know she was your publicist. Now it was taken out of context. I don't remember saying it. Brandon is a habitual liar. Christina, you might want to, child, he might need a treatment program because the way that he lies, it's just scary. He's like, but I don't feel that way about Brittany. Okay, sir. You just didn't expect Anthony to run tell that. Now you'll think twice before you say things to him because he will repeat it. So Bravo was like, listen, I'm the one that pushed Anthony to get things done on the showcase because I felt like the two of you weren't talking. And Brandon is like, no, I wasn't talking to Russell. I was fine with Anthony. He said, okay, well, whatever it is, my bad. Okay, my bad. Russell feels like it's elementary school drama. It's the stupidity for me, honey. It's stupidity at its finest. So after that, they join hands and they pray. This show has the potential to be positive, but this petty, stupid high school beef and these misogynistic husbands, they ruin it. Like, it's great to show praying men, but 2 seconds before that, y'all were fussing. And Anthony, stop calling this man little boy. But he gonna continue to call you that, Brandon, because you act like a little boy. Stand up and be a man. Stand up to him. And I don't know, Anthony, how you're going to lead a men's movement when you lead with your emotions at all times. So if they don't march the way you want them to march, you're going to have a fit. You're going to have to learn to get your emotions under control. Baby, in the final scene, because now they done prayed it out over there. Okay, the men have prayed it out. In the final scene, Kristina and Kolby, they meet up. Here go Kolby talking about, we don't have to meet. Our lives are pretty hectic. We have small kids. This is very inconvenient. Girl, just go. Y'all are filming a TV show, okay? This conversation is content. You understand that surely, right? Okay, girl, you were mad she ghosted you. Now you're mad she want to meet. It ain't no making you happy. So they sit down, they start talking. Christina goes first. So she wants to know why Kolby reacted the way that she did. And Kolby said, it's because you didn't call me back. And then you accused me of trying to take your deal. So when we got face to face, it triggered me. Christina was like, well, we could have cleared it up when we were sitting there. So Kolby tells her, girl, you can call and talk about anything else. You can call my husband, but you can't call me. And as a matter of fact, don't ever call my husband again, or it's going to be a problem. You going to call my husband and talk about mess, but you can't call me. Do not call my husband. Now, this might be an unpopular opinion, baby, but listen, I'm with Kolby. Don't call my husband. Do not call my husband with no mess. And when I wanted to talk to you, you couldn't pick up the phone and call me. You rather sit in confusion and then wait till we get together. No, do not. I just think that's disrespectful in general, even if they weren't having a disagreement. Baby, if you need to speak to someone, call me, because that's how things get confused, and that's how you have a Kenya, Apollo, and Phaedra situation. Don't call my husband. Call me. I would not be okay with that. Now, I know some people may disagree, but I said what I said and I ain't changing it. I wouldn't be okay with that. So Christina is telling her that she wasn't avoiding her. She just wanted to talk in person. She's like, what's so wrong with that? But that's not what you told her when y'all were at the skating rink, though. That's not what you said. But to Christina's defense, nothing is going to be resolved because Kolby is hooping and hollering, baby, talking all over, giving very much immature. And side note, both of their voices are nagging and aggy AF. I was like, oh, it's nails on a chalkboard. I cannot stand when high-pitched women get to yelling. People with high-pitched voices should not spar vocally. Baby, put your dukes up, but please don't put your voice up. I cannot stand that cackling out loud like that. Oh, that's just too much. So Kolby will not let her get a word in edgewise. Christina is trying to talk. Kolby is talking all over her, telling her she's a manipulator. She's this, she's that. Listen, y'all should just go y'all separate ways, because it's clear y'all are not going to be able to resolve it without a moderator. Kolby, how is she supposed to explain it to you if you will not let her speak? That was very immature. No matter whose side y'all are on, Kolby or Christina, both of them have some fault in this situation. But Kolby, in this setting, you did not allow her to speak. Okay, so how is she going to say where she even made a mistake if she feels she did? Because you will not let her talk. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below, or episodes. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about episodes 5 and 6. I am back on track for next week. And please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.